Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Evil Within. So we're fighting these safe head people, these pyramid head clones. And the only thing I can think that I was doing wrong, because I threw everything I could at them, is perhaps in the process of opening this gate here, I can lock the gate back on them. See how that gate is now open? So my thought process is there something like that here? No. But if I did lock the gate on them, maybe that would work. There's also some door here, but the door kind of disappears. And I have kind of nothing. We'll try, I suppose, this with this. Like, the door disappears, and then you are just waiting for that. So I'm thinking maybe we lock this, and you see that gate, that doorway is not closed on them. So they're slowly now making their way towards this, which in the meantime, there's no door here. So, unless this is just some kind of system that I don't quite get. Let's see. Let's see. Let's equip this and throw. And throw. And throw. And throw. I think that might have worked. This is not working well. Well, I don't have any more of that weapon, but I do have some shotgun shells, so maybe I can kill this guy.
Out of ammo.
Let's see. And is time slowing down, or am I about to get bashed? Wow, time only slows down. I can't get away from this guy, so I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't know if I just don't have enough firepower to kill these guys, or if there's something more to it, or what. This whole area fills with blood. And shotgun. And switch.
Out of ammo.
Alright. Now. Let's see if we can convince these guys to come back this direction. And let's make some more of these. Well, thank goodness. I feel like the game took pity on me, honestly. And since I don't have faith that this is the end of that, I've said it too many times that it felt like, oh, this could be the end of the game, this could be the end of the game. And every time I've said it, it's proven itself to not be anywhere close to the end of the game. They find another 30 minutes they can put in there of gameplay. So for that reason, I'm not going to say that anymore, hopefully. I think I may have learned my lesson. Shotgun shells. Do I have enough to do a full load of shotgun shells? No. I am at the full sniper rifle level. Could certainly do with everything else. Let's see. So we've got 4 shotgun shells, we've got this, and we probably would be better off crafting a bunch of explosive bolts. I guess I have the full amount on those. The only thing I guess I don't have are some other things that probably don't matter too much. Alright. But then I just go back to the handgun, because I don't want to waste these very, very valuable bullets. Like the Resident Evil series, bullets are the real currency in this game. Clearly that's the case. Am I supposed to shoot his eye? Am I supposed to sneak behind these things? Oh, yes, I am. So the idea here is don't step into the light. Which, that doesn't seem too difficult to do. Although it seems like it might be getting more difficult. The game seems to be kind of generous on it, though. Too. Hmm. This is a little too zigzaggy for me. I think I might be in a safe spot, though. I don't know if I really need to dismantle all of these, or if I should just try to kind of avoid them. Yeah, let's just save ourselves some time. And run. Running towards the screen again. Not the best move ever. Let's try to stay out of the blood. And that works. And we're back into the real world, except for this time the real world is more destructed and destroyed. Let's see, is there anything new to pick up in here, or is this just a different skin on the place we were already in? It's locked this time. I suspect there might not be a real reason to have any more goo to pick up. Oh, and these plants block me. At the beginning of the game, you could walk right through them. Almost as if the section of the game where you weren't in the fictional reality was fictional and this is real. I'm not sure if that's really the reason for that, though, or if it was just a simple oversight. And this time, I think the chair is totally gone. So, I can't upgrade even if I wanted to. It's just save. And since I only have one save slot, I have to save in the place I was before. Which that could prove to be very disastrous if something glitches. It could add hours and hours of gameplay. Going back to the last save. But to be honest, if there was some kind of major glitch and I couldn't finish the game, I think that would be fair enough to rage quit. Like even if a game is given to me, if it's so unplayable or it's so unagreeable or if it's so glitchy, I would still. Here we have like a reference to elevators in video games. While we're doing this, we can line up all of our bullets, I suppose. And then it just goes black. And we've got a brain in depiction of what the stim system is. Of course, this is not really how it works. This is just the fictionalized version of it, but it's close enough. And we have everybody plugged in. Joseph. Leslie. There's Dr. Jimenez, not a great name for a character.
It can't be.
Help! Help!
Sebastian, get away from him. Sebastian, listen to me. Stop. Your interests are the same as ours.
Look, I get it. You're not just some rookie detective, and this is not just some ordinary kid. You killed Joseph and you shot me. So right at this moment, that's enough reason for me not to trust you.
You're a good man. That's why doesn't matter anymore. If you know who this kid is, if you know anything, you know why he can't be allowed to live.
Bullshit. It's Ruvik. He's the one that... Leslie, stop.
Leslie!
So are we gonna fight Ruvik, or are we just gonna see a cutscene? Like, I kind of have control, or it felt like I had control for a second, but this really just seems like it's gonna play out regardless of whether I'm pushing a controller or not. Apparently the brain is everything. It's taking over the whole world. It's absorbing everything, I would guess. This is gross and all. Not very scary to me though. It's a little too colorful. Seriously? A new boss couldn't just fight Ruvik in a human form? And apparently we're gonna fight him in a 3D crazy environment where everything is shifting. Or maybe not. Maybe we're just going to run and try to avoid dying. Again, one mistake kills, not a great experience. Alright. Ugh. It went towards me instead of away from me. So this is going to take multiple times, and I imagine anybody short of a highly skilled speedrunner who has memorized every single movement is going to have that experience. Which, that's just not a good experience to have. Do I have anything that could kill this guy? Like, in all seriousness, any kind of weapon that even seems like it might, for a second, slow him down. Where's the rocket launcher when you need it? I will take this. If I can get up to it and use this. Alright, so I assume I'm supposed to be shooting the red part of the hand. Am I dying? Yep. A slow instant kill. Well, let me tell you, even on easy, the targeting is not great on that system. It's herky and jerky and not something I would want. Did he grab me? Or did I succeed? This is a really long cutscene. If that was a death. So, like, here you see this is the whole problem. Yeah. Very Resident Evil 4, you're gonna finish the game with a rocket launcher. Like, you just saw me instant die, and now I have an action that seems like an instant death, but let's just hope this works. I gotta zoom in more. I'm trying to hit, I guess, his brain? I would have thought I was trying to hit his soft, gooey parts. I'm gonna try and zoom out a little bit. Why do I have so many rocket launchers? At least now, you can't really fall into the argument that this is too ridiculous, since all of this is fantasy and fiction in the first place. That was often a complaint thrown at the Resident Evil series, but it didn't really matter. Like, either you have fun with the series or you don't. And now he's growing the brain back, and I'm apparently crawling into the fetal position and dying. And you only have one shot. Another instant death. Frankly, this is being so poorly implemented as a final battle, which is often the case in games, that the final battles are really poorly implemented, that this could just have all been a cutscene. In a lot of ways, if the story is better, I'd say this entire game could have just been a like movie. Am I missing? Is my accuracy so low with the gun that I can't even hit him in the brain when I'm trying to? Well, this is irritating. But this could have been a QuickTime event. I usually don't say that. I usually hate QuickTime events, but this is better than what... And it looked exactly the same as if I missed. Now, I'm still not really getting the reason why they put Ruvik in the machine in the first place. Like, are they trying to get his knowledge? So he just disconnected him from himself from the fictional machine. But no telling how you actually disconnect yourself from the real machine or exit. If there even is a way.
I created this world. You cannot keep me here. Ruvik.
I guess I'm supposed to move towards this. Since I really don't have a choice. I don't even seem like I have a gun or anything, so... See, is he actually... And press A to stomp. Was he actually affecting the real world, or are we in a virtual reality? I think we're in a virtual reality. And now we're seeing the real world. And Kidman either was never in there, or...
Leave that one. And those two. They're not going anywhere. No one can.
So it seems like they're gonna leave you in the machine, or Kidman's decided to help you escape. But why the police well, no, the uniformed police officer and the orderlies? Why put them in the machine? Did Ruvik do that? I guess he did. I guess he grabbed all these people and put them in the machine by influencing the outside world while he was already in the machine. I don't understand this story at all. This makes no sense. And who is that? Withers Leslie. Who is Leslie Withers? And see, this still looks like exactly the bloodbath we at the beginning of the game. And it's Beacon Mental Hospital. And I guess the question is, does he open the door and...
Go! Detective, are you all right? Is there anyone else?
Just give me some real fresh air.
So, I assume these SWAT people have no clue what's going on at all. Oh, Leslie was the boy that got killed. Or there's Leslie Withers right there with Ruvik in the body. like, if Ruvik had just gone about it a different way, if he really was just trying to escape, he probably didn't need to use horror and traps and monsters to accomplish that. Like, why do the bad guys always have the worst plans, the most malevolent plans? So it seems like the bad guy has won. Published by Bethesda Software, which is kind of weird. Bethesda is a subsidiary of ZeniMax, and ZeniMax has been buying companies and putting it under the Bethesda name and several other companies' names. Slowly and kind of in the shadows becoming a major publisher to rival the Ubisofts and the EAs of the day. The only thing I would say, though, is ZeniMax is certainly interested in the bottom line, and that's why you see a lot of decisions made specifically to make more money. Re-releases of Skyrim instead of making the next Elder Scrolls game in the series, type things like that. So looking at this list of people, it doesn't seem like it's a huge team, and they're all Japanese names. So I figure what happened here is the director of Resident Evil 4 no longer wanted to, or was no longer allowed to be the director of Resident Evil series. And so he's gone off on his own to do about the exact same thing. And in the process, for this game particularly, he proved that him and his team, his new team, really couldn't live up to RE4. This is a pale comparison to RE4. It's missing so much of what makes RE4 fun and worth playing a second time. This story, when you don't even compare it to any other game, is not a quality story. It's random. The levels are completely randomized. And you certainly could have just tried to work on that. Clearly, the person in charge didn't even care to keep the story in the same area. In comparison to RE4, you start in a city, you work your way through some small caves, you go to a church, you go across a lake, you go through a forest, you eventually get into more caverns, you eventually get into a castle, you eventually get on an island. There's a very far variety of areas that you access in RE4, but it all is smooth and reasonable, and every single step in the journey is a step the player actually takes. Whereas in this game, you just show up at the end of a chapter, Ruvik does his magic that's not explained, and you're in a different place. If this was attempted to be a more scary game, video games never scare me. I know it's a fiction, like from the beginning, and I can't forget that. So why would any fictional video game ever scare me at all? It might get me on a jump scare, but there were no jump scares in this game, really. Even when I accidentally walked right next to an enemy, there was really no jump scares. Earlier on in the game, since I was struggling so much with it when I was at the beginning, before I turned it down to easy, there were entire chapters where I missed sections, and tons of collectibles have been missed. I seriously doubt anybody would have been able to get all of the upgrades playing on normal. Maybe you get twice the amount of gel if you play while playing on easy. You can't get all the upgrades. Maybe if you'd played on normal all the way through and struggled through that would have worked. But I'm not really happy with that. There is that weirdness with the voice recordings sounding like me when they should have been Ruvik's voice. that seems just kind of like an English voice translation error, or maybe it was done intentionally to hint at something that as a red herring. I don't know, but it doesn't pay off. So little of this game pays off. Even points where you just go down a hallway, and after walking down a long hallway, there's nothing but one bullet to pick up. A bullet you may not even need. RE4 was very limited in bullets when you played, but almost certainly had 4 or 5 times as many bullets as this game did. And these guns are not 4 or 5 times stronger than the guns in RE4. There definitely was a section of this game where I had no bullets. It is overall just a very frustrating experience. Now the good thing is, I've heard the DLC is a little bit better, and I've heard the Evil Within 2, now I can kind of spoil it, is more of an open world game where you get missions and you run across an open world section, and it's a different bad guy, and it's, I don't think, as randomized and messed up as this game is. However, making Evil Within 2 an open world game takes it so far away from the Resident Evil series that you can't even make that comparison anymore, and then it just becomes, you've got this horror open world game. Maybe that works, maybe it doesn't. I'd have to play the Evil Within 2 to be certain. Most open world games are not horror based, so that might change it a little bit, but it might also just turn it into more of an action zombie game than it should be. I don't begrudge this game for trying to be horrific and scary. I just begrudge it for kind of failing at that. There is a insanely weird misbalance of enemies in this game. The hair lady showed up twice. The dog showed up once. The giant guy that showed up once. The spider guy showed up once. There was no need to have the ride chapter in the game at all. That could have easily been cut. Overall, this whole game is just way too long, and if it was a tight 5-hour experience, that would have been a lot better. I kind of wonder if this was just like the Walking Dead Telltale game, if it wouldn't be better, honestly. That would have forced them to make a more story-based game that would have made more sense and thought more about its actual story that's occurring. Like, we saw backstory for Ruvik. Nobody cares about the backstory for Ruvik. We saw Ruvik conspiring with the Doctor. I didn't care about anything the Doctor had to say or do. We barely saw Kidman, so her involvement is unnecessary at all. She could have easily shown up at the end cutscene where she saves me, and that would be it. The unshown character of his wife, unnecessary. His daughter being killed in the fire, all of that story kind of starts to play a role in the second game, but in the first game it's totally unimportant. They really failed at any point to throw out any other idea or option that Castellanos, the character you were playing as, was going crazy, and these were just hallucinations that he was having. If you bought into that thought, you can still buy into the thought that he's crazy right up till the end of the game, and nothing will ever could be shown or said to prove that that's not the truth. So this was using id Tech. I think it probably would have been better. Alright, so now you have a machine gun, and now you have a rocket launcher, and you have 50,000 skill points, and new Game Plus and Model Viewer can now be selected from the menu. You can now select a different difficulty when selecting new game. So we beat on casual, total clear time, 24 hours, 8 hours of those were because I accidentally hit the pause menu and actually just knocked it while I was asleep, and it sat there for 8 hours doing nothing. So you subtract that and you're still 16, maybe even 17 hours of gameplay. 65 deaths. There should have been 0, particularly in a horror game. Almost all of those deaths were instant deaths or situations where I didn't understand what I was supposed to do. This game, let's not forget, also was very bad about telling me what I was supposed to do. And what is the deal with the stupid limited number of save files? Like, why? Why in the world would you do that to me? So, it looks like the menu is slightly different now. And so we can look at the model viewer. If you stay still, you're... Like, this is straight out of RE4 model viewers. It's very Japanese. Although, in this case, it's not even going to be very interesting. Like, usually games with model viewers are so you can be lewd and ogle the girls, but there's not really anything much to ogle here. Joseph barely played a part. Let's see. Some of the Japanese games, when they come over to America, also block the view of looking up a skirt. So that's probably what this base is for. Because that's frankly what the Japanese people do. They want to see that pantsu, as they call it. Laura here. Totally wasted character. I'm not even sure we saw her in the game in this model. Look at the hair and the skirt swinging. That is cool. But frankly, almost all the engines have something like this just as a way of testing your engine and testing your fabric technology. Let's see, we can see Ruvik's half brain. Like, was he supposed to be half one person and half another? I'm not even sure. Like, Ruvik as a child. Ruvik as a child scarred. Ruvik as a young. So, like, you don't even get the full story until you get this model viewer, because this is the only time you didn't see them as a ghost. Alter egos. Let's see. This is the result of connecting a subject with dissociative identity disorder to a STEM device. The dominant and alternate personalities blend into a single two-headed creature. Well, geez, how many people did they connect to the STEM device? Sadists. Zen. Like, did we fight this guy once or twice? Noon. Yeah, these were the twins. The Keeper. Boy, do I hate the Keeper. A creature created from the blend of Ruvik's final memories before he was dismembered in his fury at having his research stolen from his safe. Anyone who approaches the safe is killed, and their severed head is added to those in the sack. Okay. Trauma. Sentinel. Lore. A creature born from the memory of Lore's tragic death and Ruvik's own vengefulness. The thing is nearly immune to bullets and reacts violently to open flames. So this girl was supposed to be Laura. Like, you didn't even know who Laura was when you first saw this character. Creature generated from Ruvik's desire to remain unseen by others. Was this a aquatic monster subject born when a subject drowned during tests and their consciousness became lost within Rubik's mental world. And they had to make a special way to animate this guy, I suppose. Like, so much backstory here not explained. Like, final consciousness of subjects who died while connected to STEM, which apparently was a lot. Heresy. Antigram. Combines the anger and animosity of the victims of Ruvik's research. Amalgam. I guess is that what that was. Amalgam core. Haunted Group A. Yeah, these aren't that interesting to look at. These are just the things I've been looking at throughout the whole game. You can see they made about 20 different zombies to deal with. And apparently there was a pigs and cows at some point in the game. I don't recall that. Here's a knife. Here's a grenade. Here's your revolver, your shotgun, sniper rifle, automatic handgun, which I guess we're eventually going to get an automatic handgun. Agony crossbow. Like, I was under the impression that you would get and use the agony crossbow a lot more in the game. You really don't need to use it at all. So, it's preferred by Joseph. So Joseph was using that gun. And then this is a 3-shot burst gun, which would kind of work. And here we have double-barreled shotgun. So what this is telling me is on the second playthrough, you probably find all of these weapons. Or you'd have to do something else to get these weapons. Brass knuckles to increase your melee damage. Like, there are a lot of the RE4 tropes in this game, clearly. But I could not see myself ever wanting to do a new game plus. And let's see. If I take this and tried this here, I can only play it on casual. So, like, if I wanted to come back and play a new game, like, new game plus this, So, if I wanted to do a new game, I would have to do this. And select this. And now you can play on Nightmare. Difficulty. Which, no thanks. Particularly since you wouldn't have those new Game Plus weapons. In fact, I don't think there's any way whatsoever to have the new Game Plus weapons. So we have 3 chapters on DLC. And I think I'm going to take a break. Yeah. So, probably, more than likely, I will play this DLC and it will air right after this, as these episodes air. But personally, I've had enough of The Evil Within. It is such a pale comparison to RE4. I wish RE4 worked on my computer. In fact, I probably should go back and see if it actually does work on my computer, because of some issues that I was having before with the frames locking up and juddering. Although, probably not. I would much have preferred to play RE4, but whatever. Again, I want to say thank you to Travis for giving me this game. It was definitely worth playing once to criticize. I had fun criticizing it and being a critic of it, even if on a lot of points I didn't enjoy the game. That's it for this episode and for the main gameplay. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.